Hey Steve and all the Supernatural fans, good morning. It is Friday, August 23rd, I believe. And I know it's been a long time since I've done a video, and I apologize for that. A lot of things obviously going on around here. So for those of you that did not know, you'd probably almost have to be living under a rock, but we built the car for the Warner Brothers Supernatural giveaway at San Diego Comic-Con. And so things have just kind of really, I don't know how the word I'm looking for, but it's just gotten even crazier around here because some other things might have come of that. And I don't want to go into any kind of detail or anything like that right now because I just don't. I'm going to keep my mouth shut for a little bit. So maybe keep you guys in a little bit of suspense. Last night I came in and did this video, and it turned out to be like an hour or so long. And it was just me rambling on about crazy things. And I was like, you know what? I just really need to shoot this video over. So that's what I'm doing this morning. I'm going to concentrate on Steven's car. And I'll do another video somewhere down the line and maybe go into a little bit of detail and stuff on other stuff. But this is Steve Wiggins' car. Steve lives in England. I originally called this car Queenie because obviously Steve lives in England. And now we have the official name on it. And the official name is British Baby. So the British Baby here is taking shape, form real fast like. And I had to talk to Steve about if we were going to do a posi rear end or if we were going to leave it, you know, the non-posi in it, where we're going to go through the transmission, blah, 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 blah. And because we're getting to those points of this stage of this build. So for the people that don't know what a posi is when you hit the accelerator really hard and both, you know, you want to smoke your tires and both tires smoke. If you have a non-posi, only one tire smokes, and that will be the passenger side. So the transmission this car only had 28,000 miles on it. And so we told Steve that, you know, really this car, since it just had hardly any miles on it, let us put new seals, gasket, filter, transmission fluid, stuff like that in it, and it'll be fine. So that's what we're going to do. And then the interior on this thing, I don't know if you go back and look at some of the my earlier videos, but the interior on this thing was just immaculate. And the headliner, let me come in here. There's the headliner. That headliner still looks brand new to this day. So this is getting ready to be all sprayed up. And when I mean sprayed up, I mean the interior. So yesterday, Mike cut in, let me see the holes down here. There's one over there, and I'll come over here on the other side. Mike cut in the dash vents. And so we're going to make this car look like it has AC. It will not have AC, but it will look like it does, and there's the other hole. So one of the things that we're going to do is keep the vent pools, I think, on this car for the fact that one of the show cars actually has vents down on the kickboards, but they just cut in the vents like what we're doing. And that way it'll allow airflow in if you're, you know, get on one of those days where you need a little airflow coming through the car. So the engine, let me take you over here to the engine, is sitting over here on an engine stand. And this engine is a 454 factory GM crate engine. It's rated around 400 horsepower and 500 foot-pounds of torque. So it's going to be plenty of engine for this car. Just for the people that want to know, the car that we built for Warner Brothers, same engine. This is just a very streetable engine, has power when you need it, and it's a really great engine. Now I will point out that if you buy one of these engines, you can't, this is kind of a tricky deal. This is not a Gen 4, 5, or 6 engine. This is like probably from 1970 to, I want to say, 85. engine block. And so that means from 70 to 85 we'll accept this oil pan. This oil pan right here is a 1967, might be 65 through 70, but I'm going to just say 67 Impala slash Caprice oil pan. I'm not sure if it was used on the Vets and stuff, but it's got, I call it a 3-step pan. Some people might call it a 2-step pan, but you got boom, boom, boom. And, or if you say step, they might be referring to this here, which would only be 2. But you have to have this oil pan if you're running a big block in a small block or a Impala or Caprice. And that's because of the steering linkages go through here. So without it, your car's not going to turn. So these are getting really, really hard to find, the oil pans and stuff. You can buy the engines and stuff, but the oil pans are getting really difficult to find. Now this engine here, which is a kind of little bit of a rarity because I talked to the guy that builds the GM crate engines and stuff, and I'm working with him on everything, and this is all GM parts, GM performance and everything. This is a 4-bolt main, and so that's even cooler. And then there's a little tag here. It tells you it's a General Motors engine and stuff, and it tells you what the rod's been, or the crank's been turned, and the bearings and all that stuff. And this thing is only, I think it's been bored. Let me just double check here. Yeah, it's been bored 30 over. The crank's been turned, 10, and I mean, this thing is just a really, really awesome engine. The engine, when you get it, is what I call just a long block. You get just your block, your heads, and timing chain on it, and that's pretty much it. So you have to buy like your oil filter adapter, which goes in here. You have to buy an oil pump, a water pump, your intake, your distributor, all the goodies. So it's still in the long run, for what you're getting, this thing is, you save money on it way in the long run than, trying to rebuild an engine. Rebuilding engines and stuff, you run into machine shops like, well, we just haven't gotten to it yet, and it just can get to be a real pain in the butt. So anyway, with your engine here, Steve, I'm going to take you into the office real quick. I got your exhaust manifolds setting in here, and I need to know from you if you're going to want them hot jet coated or not. There they are, sitting right there, 1967 exhaust manifolds, and that's the same thing. It's on Hero 1. Some of your other parts, this is just some of your other parts, but right in here, let me turn on the light, stacked up, inventoried, so I know where things are. I know it looks like, wow, how can you tell where things are? This pile over here is for Rod, for his car. So we have a little bit of a system, and it works, believe it or not, pretty well. Sometimes we lose stuff. And I know that we had talked on through emails about a distributor hold down and the fan spacer. We have not seen it. We've looked around, not saying it's not here. I was gone to California during that time, so it could have just gotten misplaced. And so I just went ahead, just to save us from time and effort, I just went and bought another set. If we find those, I'll just put them on my car, so no foul or penalty there. And if we don't find them, so I lost $20 or whatever. I'm not going to worry about it. So that's going on with your engine and stuff over there. The car here right now, guys, there's just a box sitting in here. This is just a weapons box sitting in here, and this actually goes to another car. Rod's got his in the back of his car. This is for another one, and so when I was making one, I was like, I'll just make 2. But I need to know if you're going to want a weapons box, Steve, because I'd like to get that installed before going into paint. It just makes my life a lot easier. Once everything in the interior gets sprayed, I'm going to install the rear package tray back here with the initials and the speakers and carpet and all that stuff, since we got the rear window out. So I will get you a cost on interior weapons box And your interior is obviously going to be less because if we're just using this headliner. And trying to think, I know we talked about something else on the phone or on our video chat that we had on Saturday. And for the love of God, right now I just cannot. I probably mentioned it last night in my video when I rambled on about so much stuff. But if contact me after watching this video, because I know you're looking forward to this video. We did replace one of your, this is the B pillar covers right here, and we replaced it with this one, the one, because yours was cracked and stuff, and we just wanted you to have a really nice one, so we swapped that out for you. The kick panels here, these have the vents in it, and like I said, I think these are really nice, and I can show you pictures on the Supernatural cars where they do have these with the AC vents and everything cut in. So that's still keeping it screen correct. I'm trying to think what else. So once we get all the goodies for the engine, and when I say goodie, it's the stuff really nobody sees or cares about, but water pump, oil pump shaft, pickup tube, the list goes on, you know, oil filter, all that stuff. It has been ordered, and hopefully it's coming in today. Motor mounts and all that stuff. So when that comes in, everything will get installed. And that's also your transmission, all the kit for the transmission, the filter, the gaskets, the seals. Transmission will be cleaned up, painted, everything will be installed. We'll put new U-joints in. And then basically once the interior is sprayed, I get the the package tray all there put in. They're going to probably start buttoning this thing up. You're going to see fenders and hoods and all that stuff, which goes onto this car. And then it will be time to assemble it and paint it. But like I said, before we get to that, I need to, we got to talk about if we're going to do the weapons box, because this is the time to do it. I can do it without, you know, with it painted. It's just a pain in the butt. Because I'm always afraid, you know, scratching. And I always do scratch, and I'll tell you where it gets scratched is right in here on the sides, because this box is so wide that you just have a little bit of clearance on each side, and trying to get that thing stuck down in there. And it has to come in and out, in and out, in and out. And for people that's made the weapons box, they probably understand what I'm talking about. Not a fun process. So, you have the disc brakes on your car. The whole firewall and everything has been painted. It's kind of a little dirty, dusty right now, but there are your updated tubular A-arms, new springs, obviously new master cylinder and power booster and everything. So with that being said, everything's done here, new steering linkages and everything, and we'll just set that engine in there, and we're gonna do the on the firewall, we're going to put the suitcase on there so it looks like it's got an AC unit on it. So when you open the hood, people go, oh, you got AC, and they look in your dash, and you know, it gives the appearance of having an AC in your car. Once again, they do that to ones on the show. Actually, I think they don't put, the ones of the cars that don't have ACs on them, they do not fake in the suitcase there. That's just kind of like a little touch I like to do. That way, because this is going to look like Hero 1. When you open the hood, I want it to look like, you know, a factory AC car. So that will be all done. I'm trying to think, man. That's about it. She's coming along. Really, really fast. And the trim on this car was in awesome condition. The bumpers were in awesome condition. Door panels, awesome condition. That saved you money. I mean, we still got to spend money on getting the matching carpet to the door panels and stuff, but I mean, you don't have to go out and buy $500 worth of door panels. So if the door panels were warped or, you know, water damaged and kind of where they were dry rotted or something, I'd be like, hey man, we just got to do this, because that's really something difficult for Terry to work on. But no, man, these door panels were sweet. So you save money on that. Like I said, the headliner looks fantastic. So a lot of, you know, good things that saved money going down the road. like I said, transmission doesn't need to be gone through. The rear end doesn't really need to be gone through. I mean, with 28,000 miles, basically, you could have just kept your 327 in here and had, you know, a nice little cruiser. You're still going to have a nice cruiser. It's just that you're going to have a lot more power, and it will be sucking up the petrol over in England. And I don't know what you guys are paying per gallon, or you guys go by liter, but I know it's not going to be cheap. And but that's what it costs to have fun, you know. So, and then, oh, we got to do the exhaust and alignment on it. So those are a few things that, like I said, I'll get you the prices, and we'll be rocking and rolling on it. So I wanted you to see your car, so you knew I wasn't BSing you that it was being worked on. For the other Supernatural fans, Rod's car is back over there in a tarp. I think Goldie might be under this tarp. These cars are coming up through the line and being done. They're going to move quick. Did want to mention something that I did mention in my video last night, that I was going to try to get out of building these cars, and not because I don't see a future in it or anything like that. In fact, it's the complete opposite. Finding parts for these cars are very difficult, and these cars are in such high demand. And people just kept begging for me to keep doing it, so I'm going to keep doing it. So just so everybody knows, I did a post on everything Supernatural. And so yes, I'm going to keep building Supernatural Impalas till I guess nobody wants one. Want to go on to another thing. I'm just going to touch real briefly on this. I kind of pay attention to some of the sites out there, pages on Facebook and stuff about the 67 Impala, and I see people are like, oh, I can't wait to see the show end because these cars aren't going to be worth anything, Guys, don't pay attention. Don't fall into those traps of getting in arguments. You're going to argue with stupidity, and you'll lose. You can't win. So just don't even engage them. Just let them rumble and don't even say anything. But I promise you these things. This car is the new General Lee. And Jensen and I had a long talk. Well, I don't want to say long, but well, it was pretty lengthy. And we talked about his baby. And there's going to be some things coming up on that. Right now, I'm just not one of the... There's lots of things that has transpired out of this trip to San Diego with Warner Brothers and stuff. And it's going to be, hopefully, I'm trying everything in my power to make a lot of things happen. And it's for really you, the fans. And it really doesn't pertain to baby. I'll just put it that way. But I'm going to probably be asking for help. It's going to be very expensive to do what I'm going to do. And I've been kicking around ideas on ways trying to raise money and stuff, and because if I had to guess, we're probably looking at $1 million or more. And people are like probably going, what the hell? It will be a thing that I just don't know the word. Every fan's going to love it. Every fan's going to be part of it. But we'll go into that later. And this is how I got on I jump off conversation stuff. But anyway, Jensen and I had long talks about his baby. And like I said, things are going to transpire out of that. I asked Jensen if he knew what his car was worth. Hero 1, the original Hero 1. And he's like, no. And I said, do you realize if this car was advertised properly, had all the documentation, and it went across the auction block, it would probably bring about $1.5 million. And Jensen was like, no way. And I'm like, yeah, dude, you have the original Hero 1 car. What do you think the original Hero 1 General Lee would bring? Probably, well, I would say the number one Hero car of like Knight Rider, but I was informed by my buddy Scott down in Branson, who owns the Celebrity Car Museum, that there are no original cars, Knight Riders from that that show. Anybody tells you they got one, he says they're lying. Scott deals with celebrity cars all the time. That is his life. And he just said it was their contract that once that show was over, all those cars had to be crushed. So every car you see out there is a replica. And Scott has one in his celebrity museum. You'd swear to God it's the original, but nope, it's just a replica. And there's sometimes you just can't get the original cars because of things like that. And Jeff has told me, like on commercials, when I say Jeff Budnick, my good buddy up at Supernatural, we had a conversation one time, and he said, Dodge did these commercials. So you see, like when Dodge advertises their cars, their Chargers, their pickups, and all that stuff. He said they filmed these commercials up there, and then after it was all said and done, they had to crush them. Brand new cars, just driven for, a short time for filming a commercial, crushed them. And so, with that being said, when you get original movie cars and TV cars and stuff like that, and especially when it's a huge success like Supernatural. Supernatural is into what I say pop culture, and it's never going to fall out of pop culture. And then 20, 30 years from now, can it be like, oh yeah, it's not hot and heavy like it is now? But you know what, guys? I think it's going to, Dukes of Hazzard is still a huge thing. There are certain things that just hit the population, certain populations and fandoms, and they carry on, they pick up that torch and they carry it. And, there's Duke Fest and all that stuff. So basically is what I'm saying is don't get in arguments with people because they're butthurt because your car is being worth more money or selling for more money and stuff like that. It's just they're just hurt, that's all. So, anyway, Steve, your car, brother, we're just waiting on some stuff for the engine to come in so we can get it all assembled and painted and slapped down in there, transmission and stuff. Interior's getting ready to be sprayed, dash, steering wheel, all that. And we'll start assembling, like I said, the front end and everything. And then it's basically rolling into the paint booth. So I'm going to need to know how you want your exhaust manifolds hot jet coated or painted. Supernaturals are painted. Now they're rusty. So hot jet coat is just going to make them always look like they did when they rolled off the factory line. And I call it gunmetal gray. I think some people call it factory cast or something. I don't know. But I call it gunmetal gray. And so I need to know if you want that done or not. Price-wise, it's going to be somewhere between $200-$300, maybe a little bit more. It's been a while since I've had a set done. I think the last set that we did was on Kevin Zimmerman's Francis, and I think he paid $250, and that was like a year or so ago, and God knows prices just keep going up on everything. So like I said, need to know that. I'll get you prices on exhaust. I'll get you prices on I know alignment's $75 here, and then the interior, I know you need to keep your numbers straight and everything for your budget for your car. So with that being said, going to let you go, and hopefully I'll do another video here. You guys, I don't think it's going to be before Labor Day weekend, just because of some things going on, which I will explain later. But we'll just say hopefully here soon. So, but I wanted to at least touch base with Stephen on his car, and then I will probably, we'll do a video on Rod's car coming up here soon. We're just waiting for the engine to come in on that. And just so everybody knows, that engine is not coming from GM, my guy at GM. Rod had an engine built, I think, over in North Carolina, South Carolina, and which is fine. If anybody ever wants to have their engine built by themselves or someone else and have it shipped to us, we're all fine with that. We don't care. It's just one thing off our plate that we have to worry about. So when that comes in, that'll be going into Rod's car, and I'll be doing his weapons box. I've already got it made. Like I said, it's already sitting in the back of his car. I just got to do my other special things for the weapons box, and so we'll be doing a video on that one here soon. And then I still got Nadine and Stephen Hornback that'll be flying up here. And then what's the other one? Oh, we got Joe still, the 66, which I did a video on here not too long ago. We still got the GTX that they're working on. It's just, we got lots of projects, guys, lots of projects. And so on my deal, when I said we're still going to be doing Impalas, we are. We're just not taking anything right now. We don't have the room. Unless you want your car to sit outside, then we can talk about that. But right now, it's just, we just can't handle any more cars coming in. So once these start kind of leaving, then that's going to free us up some shop space. So, and then we got some special things going to be happening, and which will all be revealed here in the future. So just going to leave it at that. Hope I wasn't too vague, and I'm not. Basically, I'm trying to spark a little interest on what's going to be happening around here, because I know you, the fans, are going to freak. You're going to flip, and very excited about these things that are taking place. So with that being said, I want to say goodbye to you, Stephen, and goodbye to all the fans. Everybody take care. I love you, and until my next video, bye.